We're hoping to have a drum-off between Monterey High and Seaside High. Let's bring it. Now I'd like to welcome Ms. Valerie Rivera, teacher at Seaside Middle School, with a welcome. Salekia Sata. Buenos dias. Good morning. I would like to begin by acknowledging that the land on which we gather has been the home of the Esselen, Rumsian, and Ohlone people for thousands of years. I thank them for their strength and resilience in protecting this land and pay respects to elders both past and present. Acknowledgement is a simple and powerful way of showing respect and is a step toward correcting the stories and practices that erase Indigenous people's history and culture. And it moves us closer to inviting and honoring the truth. It is, however, only the first step. I honor the Ohlone Costanoan Esselen Nation, the Esselen tribe, and the Costanoan Rumsian Carmel tribe for their research into our language and their generosity in sharing their learning. In the language of my ancestors, I offer my good intentions to Creator for a successful beginning to this year. Ike neshneke, Ike neshiapa, Kuen nehe, Anike hatsatsano, Lakai nesh nepeleno, Las name yaskeke, Le mepele namoheske, Lakai le maseana. Lech amesahanoapa, Lakai chapishi noapa, Lakai kalu noapa, Lakai mem noapa. Finally, I'd like to give a big thank you to our admin team and to everyone here. I honor your devotion to our learners and offer my best wishes for a successful new school year. Please, at this time, rise for the presentation of colors by our Seaside High School Color Guard under Sergeant Miller and the national anthem sung by the Monterey High School Community Ensemble Choir directed by Mr. Charles Funny. The community choir includes alumni from MHS giving back to our community. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight
Thank you, Monterey High Community Choir and Seaside High Color Guard. Good morning, MPUSD. Welcome to the 2022-2023 school year. It's been since 2019 that we had an in-person back-to-school kickoff. The last few years have been virtual, so we were really excited about bringing everyone back together to get together today. We watched the weather all last week, a little nervous, and then as you saw, the emails were like, wear warm, wear layers, and then we got the sun. So we couldn't ask for anything better, and we thank you for your flexibility. So we hope many of you had an opportunity to enjoy this summer, whether you went on vacation or you did a staycation. Many of our classified employees stayed behind, and they worked through the summer to help maintain our district operations and prepare for the new school year. And then we want to give hats off to our administrators and teachers who also took on summer school and right after school got out, began teaching summer school the week after. So thank you. I will take a brief moment. We were clapping for the classified staff that stayed behind, and I just want to take a moment to recognize them, those that work behind the scenes each and every day. And those are our business services team, ed services, expanded learning opportunities, facilities, human resources, information technology, maintenance ops custodial, nutrition services, multi-tiered systems of support, special ed, transportation, and communications. They work throughout the summer serving our students, families, and school sites and ensuring that the district ran day to day through the summer. So thank you for staying through the summer. Just a fast fact, many school districts have a longer summer break. Here at MPUSD, since we have a fall break and a 2-week summer break, our summer is shortened. So really, thanks to our maintenance ops, facilities, custodial staff, they go above and beyond each and every day during the summer, really turning classes around in the school sites. Special thank you to our host, Seaside High School, for allowing us to hold this back-to-school kickoff today. This beautiful new track and field unveiled during COVID. This will be the second year that they get to play on it. Thank you especially to the custodial staff. I was driving by at 6:30 this morning to go get t-shirts at the district office. I saw them wiping down the benches so you would not have to sit in moisture or dirt. So thank you, custodial staff. And thank you, Principal Aaron Sanders and Assistant Principals Tessa Brown and Sita Ayala for the logistics coordination. We know you're busy trying to get the school year started, so having to host all of us here, we just want to say thank you. And thank you to our cheerleaders from Marina High, Monterey High, welcoming you with lanyards and pom-poms today. And thank you to our visual and performing arts coordinator, Jackie Hope, for coordinating our student performers. As you can see, we brought performers from all 3 learning communities, and we hope that you enjoyed today's presentations. Before we jump into the program, I'd like to make some recognitions. First, we'd like to recognize our Board of Education. First off, Board President, Dr. Amanda Whitmire. Board Vice President, Mr. Jeff Uchida. Board Member, Ms. Jessica Hare. Board Member, Dr. Betty Lusk. Alumni, Seaside High. Board Member, Mr. Tom Jennings. Board Member, Ms. Veronica Miramontes. And Board Member, Ms. Alana Miles. Next, I want to introduce you to your cabinet team. We have Superintendent Dr. P.K. Diffenbaugh, who will address you later today. We have Ryan Altemeyer, our Associate Superintendent of Business Services. We have Krista McIntosh, somewhere back there, our Associate Sup of Ed Services. We have Dr. Manny Nunez, Assistant Sup of HR. And we have Mr. Donnie Everett, Assistant Superintendent of Multi-Tiered Systems of Support. And then me, Marcy McFadden, your Chief of Communications. So in 2019, for those of you here, you remember we participated in school shout-outs, and everyone was eagerly awaiting 2020 until the pandemic hit. So now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the call out of your school. because I know that was really popular and some of us got really into it. So I'm just going to call out schools and departments and let's see who's got that spirit. And I see a lot of the bold, brighter t-shirts. And for those that didn't get one on the way out, we have some left over still sizes if you get pre-order in this plane. Okay, are we ready for the school and department shout outs? Yeah! Do we have Crumpton Elementary in the house? Do we have Delray Woods Elementary? Do we have Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. School of Art? Do we have the Dual Language Academy of the Monterey Peninsula? Woo! All right, the Mesa Elementary Sharks. All right, where is Marina Vista Elementary Arts Academy? All right, where is Marshall Elementary? Monte Vista Elementary. Olson Elementary. And where is Ford Terrace Elementary? All right, moving on to our middle schools. Los Angeles, are you in the house? Seaside Middle. Walter Colton. All right, we're moving on. High school. And Ed, starting with Ed Ops, which includes Central Coast, Digital Academy, IS, and others. So, Ed Options, where are you? All right, Marina High. Monterey High. Seaside High. Keep it up. Monterey Adult School. What about Adult Transitions Program? Right. And do we have our Marina Child Development Center? What about our Seaside Child Development Center? All right, let's move on to some of our departments. Business Services, where are you? Right. They're spread out here and there. All right, CTEROP. Ed Services. Expanded Learning Opportunities. Human Resources. All right, Dr. Miguel. Information Technology. All right, this was a biggie right here, guys. Maintenance, ops, grounds, custodians, and facilities. Do we have nutrition services in the house? Nutrition services. Special education. Support services and MTSS. All right, transportation, who got you here today? What about communications, the SOUP's office, and board members? Oh. Thank you. I lay awake at night at 2 a.m. thinking, who am I going to miss? But, so next year, thank you. Next year, we got this. I want to hear louder spirit, but you guys, awesome job. Thank you so much. Now, I want to take a moment to recognize our union presidents. First, let's hear from Miss Nikki Williams, our MBTA president. Good enough. Don't worry. All right.
being your union president this year. I am so excited to be here with you this morning. Don't get me wrong, I had the same moment every one of you probably had this summer. Right? That moment when your friend got a job where they work from home and earn double what you get. Or the moment where you looked at the cost of a house in the middle of our country and it was like, your rent check. But what brings us back, right? What keeps us here? I think it is that we are a part of something amazing. Many of you are a part of incredible communities. You're part of a family, maybe one that's been here for generations, or maybe you're hoping to grow a family here. And I do not need to tell you again what a significant part you are of our students' lives, what you do to make them feel loved and heard and seen. How many of you are the person you are today, are where you are today, in the profession you are today because of an educator? We do this for our students. We do this for our community. We are a part of something incredible. But when this work gets overwhelming, which it has a tendency to do, my greatest comfort is that we are also a part of something else. This group of educators, this union. We are a part of a group of educators who support each other, and we needed that support last year. And you know what else? And here's something that deserves applause. We are also a part of a statewide group of educators, your union, who just helped to pass the largest ever increase in state education funding. So let's talk locally. Let's talk about what we did last year, what you did. Last year, we worked together. We got over 95% of you taking surveys. We got a $7,000 raise per cell, meaning that our colleagues who earned the least got over a 20% raise in 2 years. We looked out for each other, and we will keep looking out for each other this year. But how do we do that? If you have ever had an idea of how you might improve something in your school, your district, or your classroom, go ahead and raise your hand. Any idea on what could make something better for teachers, for your colleagues? Yeah. Have you ever heard a colleague mention a really good idea on how you can improve something in your school or your district? There's a lot of really good ideas out there from the people who do this work every single day. And we have to start sharing those ideas. And to do that, we have to be a little bit bolder. We're going to start right now. I'm going to start by asking that if you are now or have ever been a leader in our union, please stand up and stay standing. That means that if you are or were a site rep, zone rep, committee chair, negotiations member, or board member or officer, and stay standing. Join your colleagues in standing if you have ever participated in your union. If you took a survey last year, went to a board meeting, or went to a site meeting, stand with your colleagues. And stay standing and join your colleagues if you are part of our bargaining unit. That means members and non-members. You are represented by the work of our union. That means every single certificated person here today should be standing. And if you are not certificated but you want to stand with us, do so, because we are stronger when classified and certificated stand together. And we raise our voices together. When I say we are, you say MBTA. We are
MPTA!
We are
MPTA!
We are
MPTA!
All right, let's get some work done together. I am excited to work with every single one of you this year. Thank you, Nikki. I would now like to introduce you to your CSEA president, Ms. Erin Stapler.
Good morning, MPUSD. Oh no. There it is. How's everyone doing this morning? My name's Erin, and I'm a behavior technician at Marina High School with the LEAP program. Very happy to be there. I started in the district about 16 years ago. It's a little easy. But I'm really excited to be here back in person. How many of you are excited to be back in person celebrating this year? I also have to just mention that Marcy took like half of my speech, so this will be a little repetitive. Oh, absolutely. I'm totally going to do it. So, just letting you know. I just want to reflect on the last year. This time last year when we did this, we were at our sites. Some of us were at the district office commuting out, and it was different. I was shaking more then than I am right now. I was like, there's only 10 people in here. And then we reflected on being kinder and giving each other grace as we started back in person with our students. We saw so many changes in navigating new territory, but we did that together and we held each other up. Even at the beginning of this calendar year when we were kind of wiped out for a while, remember, we had district people at the highest levels. I know Christy came down and supported me as a one-to-one aide for a couple of weeks when I was out with COVID. So we really stood together last year, and that's one of the greatest things I think about our district, that when we're down, we're not out. I want to go and recognize some of our back of the house staff as classified employees. I often hear from our members that they don't feel like they work in education. They don't say that they work in education. But without these people, we would not be able to be the district that we are, and our teachers and our admin wouldn't be able to do the work that they do. So when I call your classification or your department, please stand up and be recognized and stay standing to the end. I would like to recognize our custodians. Please stand up. Our maintenance department, that's our electricians, our grounds people, our plumbers, also our IT department, which we depended on so much the last few years. It Keith's here, our mail person. He's just one person in that department. Our nutrition services. Also in our district office, I'd like to see the business office stand up with our payroll department and our human resources department, our student support services, our extended learning opportunities. And like Marcy, I stayed up and scouring, trying to make sure I didn't miss anybody, which I'm sure I did. I also would like the rest of our classified employees to stand up. All of you that are in the classroom, in the front offices, in the libraries, driving our buses. Without all of you, regardless if you're working directly with students or not, you work in education and you support this district, and we would not be who we are without you. So thank you every day for what you do and continue to do. You can stay standing if you want. Or you can sit. So this year's theme is bigger, bolder, brighter. It's braver. It's braver. It's not bigger. I wrote bigger. It can be bigger. I'm going to ask you guys this year to be brave in what we do. Things are still changing. We know that. And if we're brave standing together, we can get through it. Be bolder in the kindness that you share with each other. Be reckless with the grace that you give to each other. And be brighter smiles, brighter personalities, if you want to, but sometimes that's a lot to ask. Can't be happy all the time, but at least pretend. Fake it till you make it, my mom said. So with that, I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you to our certificated staff and MBTA, because they've really supported us this last year as well, too. Without your help and continued help, we wouldn't be able to move forward the way we are. And let's have a great year, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Erin. Now I'm very excited to introduce you to our students. So let's give it up for the Marina Youth Arts and the Los Alamos Middle School Drama.
What? No, you're coming with me to Tahiti.
Okay. I see what's happening, yeah. You're face to face with greatness and it's strange. You don't even know how you feel. It's adorable. Well, it's nice to see that humans never change. Open your eyes, let's begin. Yes, it's really me. It's Maui, written. It's a lot. The hair, the bod. What can I say except you're welcome? The tides, the sun, the sky. Hey, it's okay, you're welcome. Just an ordinary guy. Where to begin so many daring feats? You might be wondering, how could a seagull demigod possibly be so awesome?
No, I wasn't.
Hey, what has two thumbs and pulled up the sky when you were walking yay high?
This guy.
When the nights got cold and so you fly from down below.
You're looking at me, yo. Oh, so I lasso the sun.
Welcome.
Shut your days and bring you fun. Also I harness the breeze.
You're welcome.
So fill your sails and take your trees.
What can you say except you're welcome?
That girl can see.
No need to pray, it's okay. You're welcome.
Yes, it's just my way of being me.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Well, honestly, I could go on and on. It's quite an natural phenomenon.
The tide, the grass, the ground, all that was Maui just messing around. Killed an eel, he buried in guts. Sprouted a tree, now you got coconuts. What's the lesson? What is the takeaway? Don't mess with Maui when he's on a breakaway.
I can count on the things that I've done, the places I've seen, the battles I've won. Look where I've been and make everything happen. Look at them mini me Maui, just sticking in top. Hey, 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 hey.
Well, anyway, what you say, you're welcome.
What a wonderful world you know.
It's okay, you're welcome.
Well, come to think of it, I gotta go.
Hey,
Hey, hey, hey,
hey,
welcome.
you're welcome.
Without meaning to stop.
Hey,
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 welcome.
you're welcome.
Now it's time to do everything but look.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Welcome. And thank you. Thank you. No, yeah, Lily. Thanks, God, it's been 1,000 years. Smell it.
Thank you, Miss Kelly Felton. Thank you, Miss Kelly Felton and the Marina Youth Arts. All right, so before we jump into the program with our guest speakers, I would not be doing my job if I didn't pan the audience for a shameless social media plug. So when I come around, I'm going to see you cheer, whatever. We're going to put this on our social media later, and then we're going to jump into the program. All right, thank you for that. So, for those of you that do follow social media, we do have an Instagram, a Twitter, a Facebook. We even have a TikTok. So anyway, we're going to be posting throughout the year on various things. So if you do have that, follow us on social media. All right, so the 2022-2023 school year is definitely a defining time for MPUSD. It's a time to be braver, it's a time to be bolder, and it's a time to be brighter. Each and every one of you plays a significant role in creating this braveness, boldness, and brightness. Like you, it's either in your classroom or your school or district-wide, sorry. Like you, this morning's speakers are equally committed to a braver, bolder, brighter year and representative of the work that each and every one of you do every day. So I want you to take a moment and just know how hard it is to come and speak in front of all of you. And each of these speakers are really, really talented. And we brought them here just so you can hear from them. And it gives me great pleasure to welcome our very first speaker, kindergarten teacher, Miss Tanea Scott from Del Rey Woods.
Good morning, MPUSD. I would like to first say I am so thankful to be up here to speak in front of you all today. Let me introduce myself again. I'm Tanea Scott, and I'm in my third year of teaching. I'm a kindergarten teacher at Del Rey Woods. And so I entered high school here at Seaside High, and I had an opportunity to be a part of the Health Professions Academy. And there's where I kind of grew my love for medicine. So I was like, okay, I want to go into the nursing field. This is what I want to do. My whole undergraduate years of school was dedicated to accomplishing that goal of being in medicine. Then I graduated and came back home to Seaside. And so here I got an opportunity to work with kids. I always had like this kind of connection with kids. It was easy to make relationships with them. I love talking to them and engaging with them. So I had an opportunity to be a preschool teacher for the Navy. There, I loved it. I work with 3 and 4-year-olds, and being able to see them grow and develop every single day and things that I help support them with, it just made me feel like, wow. And so that kind of made me want to lean more to being in education. So then I got the opportunity to work for the district I was a student in. I became a site director for the after school program at Olson, and I loved it. Olson, I love y'all school. So I was there for about 2 years, and then I had the opportunity to join the teacher residency program through MPUSD. And outer residents, whoop, whoop. So that right there changed everything for me. I had the opportunity to go into this year-long intense learning, but I felt like that was the biggest thing that helped support me into being who I am today. I interviewed at 9 months pregnant. 2 days later, I delivered my son and was full force into that whole year. So that was a great accomplishment for me. But in that program, we all know who are the residents. We were always asked, what is your why? And I know a lot of you guys have, if you're in education, you've always heard, remember your why, remember your why. And that was always so hard for me because I'm like, I knew I would be a great educator. I knew I could do the job, but the why just did not come so easy for me. I always had those catchphrases. I want to empower. I want to inspire. I want to do these things, but what does that look like in the classroom? And that's the hardest thing to understand. What does that look like to empower and inspire your students? So my first year, distance learning. It was not in the classroom. So that was something I had to learn to do. How can I build and inspire and empower via the computer like you all? Second year, my why became more concrete because I actually had my students in front of me. And so as I was watching them grow, building the relationships, talking about the things that they're struggling with and how can I support them, that's when the why made more sense. And so I thought, okay, I'm in education, but why? When the time came tough, where the behaviors were like, oh, how do I handle this? My why had to be concrete. And I decided I'm in education because I wanted to be the teacher that I needed as a student. When I was a student, I had the reputation of, oh, you getting Tanea, good luck. And I felt that as a student. So I want to be the educator that I am building relationships with my students based off of my interactions with those students, not based off of what was from previous teachers. I want to be the educator that I'm seeing that my students bring something to my classroom. And I strongly believe all students have something positive they bring to your classroom. Some it's easier to see than others, but they definitely bring something and they deserve to have us celebrate what they bring to your classroom. I want to be that educator that knows my students are not their circumstances, they're not their previous traumas, they're not the reputations that they have that perceive them. They are important, they matter, and they can make great accomplishments if we support them. So that is the educator I I want to be. And when I think about the educators that touch me, I always think about one teacher, and that was my kindergarten teacher, Miss McCoy. If you've been in the district, you know Miss McCoy. And she was an amazing teacher. And I don't remember the things we learned like ABCs, 1, 2, 3. I don't remember that. But I do remember how she cared for us, how she was a tough teacher. It was tough love because she didn't let you do some things. Like, she didn't take no mess. But she was a teacher you knew cared about you. She taught us different things, playing piano. We learned to play the piano in her classroom, and that's what sticks out to me. So I want to be that educator that my students remember what I gave them outside of curriculum. The love I gave them, the strength I gave them, the empowerment to be authentically themselves in my classroom. So I challenge you all to be brave in showing up your authentic self for your students. Be bold to stand on your convictions of whatever you feel is right. Stand for that. Be bold. And if we do that, our future will be brighter. This last thing, my biggest thing that I always believe in is joy needs to be in learning. If our students do not enjoy it, they're not going to learn. So my take from this is please go in your classrooms or go to your sites and make sure we are sparking joy in our young educators. And thank you for listening to me today.
Thank you, Tanea, for inspiring us all today. I really appreciate you. So today we have an accomplished young adult who graduated from Seaside High School last year. We were so inspired by what she said during her valedictorian speech that we asked her to come back today. So I'm pleased to introduce to you today Alyssa Bowie. Some of you might know her dad, Wee Bowie, who works for MPUSD's IT. So welcome, Alyssa.
Good morning, teachers and staff. My name is Alyssa Bowie, and I recently graduated from Seaside High School. It's hard to believe that I will be going to college soon, but in a few weeks, I will be attending UC Berkeley as a chemical biology major. When I reflect on the past 4 years, I remember entering high school with 2 goals: to challenge myself and to make the most out of my high school experience. As the daughter of Vietnamese immigrants, I understand that getting a higher education is a privilege that many people take for granted. From a young age, I learned that college will give me a chance to create a better future for me and my family. That is why I try to earn as many college credits as I could. So, with that, I found myself looking for the most rigorous classes to take during my freshman year. But at that time, I was still trying to adapt to high school life. So that made me feel very overwhelmed. I could not help but to doubt myself and my potential to succeed in those classes. I remember that when my stress was at its worst, my counselor, Miss Gray, gave me a hug and said, "It's going to be okay because you can do it." encouragement made me realize that there's a staff member who supported me, and that was all I needed to keep going. I went on to take many more college and AP classes and got many distinctions and awards. And thanks to the dual enrollment system, I will be entering college as a first year student with senior status. But even though I may be remembered for what I have achieved, my academic legacy is not what I cherish the most. To me, awards and recognition are not as important as the teachers and staff who supported me along the way. And for that, when I go to college, I will always remember how Miss Lopez, the office registrar, took the time off her vacation to process my transcript. How Mr. Richards dedicated time from his busy schedule to help me with my essay, and how Mr. Harbour devoted his time to giving me useful life lessons. The support from the faculty made it possible for me to succeed. And that is something that I will never, ever forget. I know that some teachers and staff may be thinking that not every student will appreciate the effort that you put in, especially teachers. You often sacrifice your time and effort to help students who, for a large part, would give you nothing other than heartaches and headaches. Yet you continue to support these students in hopes that it will give them a better future. And that is such a beautiful, selfless love. Success, in this sense, does not necessarily correlate to you getting some recognition. Rather, success is when you learn about your students' accomplishments and the effect that you had on their lives. Whether it is comforting students when they are crying or hugging them when they are sad, it doesn't take much to make a significant impact. Just like how Miss Gray's hug made me feel cared for, these small acts of kindness help students realize that there's someone who believes in them. And that will give them enough momentum to persevere through their problems and keep trying. So, I would like to ask teachers and staff to look out for the students, to step up and comfort those who are doubting their ability to succeed, to remind those who are struggling that they are braver and bolder than they seem, and to be the role model, the friend who empowers students to strive towards a better and brighter future. Thank
Thank you, Alyssa. We so appreciate you. All right, our next guest speaker is someone from our Class 5 ranks. I'd like to introduce Mr. Lloyd Tanseco. You may have seen him in the Why I Work Where I Work campaign, and we would love to share his story with you. So come on up, Mr. Lloyd.
Thank you, Marcy. Good morning, everyone. To quote Nelson Mandela, courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. Fear, we all experience it. Getting up here in front of you all is immensely terrifying. It took me more than a week to say yes to this opportunity. But here I am, Lloyd Canseco from the IT department, sharing my story with you all. I am a husband, a proud father of two beautiful children, and in many ways, I said yes to speaking in front of you all to share that being brave and conquering our fears, we can become the best version of ourselves. Coming to America with my family is the bravest decision we have made. It was brave because we left our family and friends, removed ourselves from the comfort zone, knew nobody here, had to start all over again to pursue a better life here in the United States, to pursue the American dream. New neighbors, new coworkers, new environment, new everything. It was terrifying. I was scared. Scared about whether I had made the right choice, scared about whether we would make new friends, form new lives. It was not easy. But as family, we made it work. My family's unwavering support and the people who believed in me gave me the strength to be truly courageous and to triumph over my fears and help me embrace our new life here in America. But to be brave, we had to be bold. Too often in life, we take the easier path, the path of least resistance. We try to live our lives by doing what best fits the standard mode because we are confined to our fears. Starting a new job, I had to be bold. I had to work harder, doing my own professional development, and keep proving to myself and to others that I deserve to be here. I am here today to remind you that by taking risks, challenging yourself, and embracing change, that you can be bold, and that being bolder is in fact better. When inertia tries to stop us, when others will not believe in us, the way we must believe in ourselves, we must instead find the strength within. If I listened to those many people who thought I would fail, perhaps even wanted me to, I would not be here standing before you all today. But instead, I pushed past those fears. I made both choices. And now I get to remind you today that finding strength in times of great struggle is powerful beyond measure. Our future can sometimes feel removed from our current reality. It may feel too out of reach, too unrealistic, too confronting. But if we rebuild our strength, reconcile our fears, and ultimately recover, we can fight for a brighter future, not only for us, but for those who will follow. Living a brighter future cannot be achieved through inaction, but through action. So, what's stopping you from taking charge, from being bold? When we are bolder, we can be brighter. When we become brave and believe in ourselves, we can make bold choices. When we make bold choices, we shine brighter, live better, and we can do what is right. Thank you to my colleagues, friends, MPUSD, for welcoming and believing in me. You have enabled me to be brave by creating a positive mindset, to learn from mistakes and turn them into opportunities, to always choose brightness and see the world where the glass is always full and never empty. Life is full of opportunities, full of hope, full of challenges. We only get one shot in this life. When we have the courage to follow our heart and intuition to do what is right, right for us, right for our family and friends, and especially to do what is right for our students, then we can truly succeed. When we overcome our fears and failures, when we become brave, when we make bold choices, then we can truly live a life that is bright. So now it is time to be brave, to be bold, to be a bright light for yourself, your family, friends, colleagues, and most importantly, be a bright light for our students.
Thank you, Lloyd. All right. Did you know that the average length of a superintendent's tenure is 3 years? Well, we have been so blessed and fortunate because entering his ninth year, I want to introduce to you our superintendent, Dr. P.K. Diffenbach.
Thank you very much. I always wanted to make an entry to Dr. Dre, so I appreciate that. Good morning. It's such an honor to be able to see and be here with you in person to kick off the 22-23 school year. Before I begin my remarks, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge the incredible speakers that we just heard. They truly epitomize what it means to be part of MPUSD, so please give them another round of applause. It's very, very impressive. This year, our theme comes from Amanda Gorman's inauguration poem, The Hill We Climb. In it, she writes, "When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. For there is always light, if only we are brave enough to see it. If only we are brave enough to be it." But we've talked a lot about being bold and brave, looking to the future. I want to remind you that in so many ways, we've already demonstrated the bravery that it takes to act in the face of darkness. And we did it together. During the onslaught of the early stages of the pandemic, we stepped up to serve our students and families. To name just a few highlights of the work that we did together, MPUSD staff distributed nearly 280,000 meals, administered 30,000 COVID-19 rapid tests, deployed 4,500 Chromebooks and 3 Wi-Fi buses. Partnering with community members, we ensured that over 250 students experiencing homelessness had a safe place to go each day for online learning. We distributed food boxes to families in need for over 100 weeks straight. We provided temporary housing for over 50 families. We installed 43 Wi-Fi units in homes that didn't have internet access. Our ELO staff made it possible that we could offer free childcare for teachers so that they could focus in on teaching. Every day, our teachers and staff showed up for our kids and for our families. You provided the care, support, and hope in a time when so many felt hopeless. And for this, I'm both proud and grateful. It is truly an honor to continue to lead and serve alongside each and every one of you. What truly sets MPUSD apart is our deep commitment to our students and families. Every day we wake up, we have the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of over 10,000 students and their families. It's an awesome responsibility and a tremendous privilege that we all hold. To seize this opportunity for the 22-23 school year, I want to focus on just one quote. It's from John Wooden. He says, "Perform your best when your best is required, and your best is required each day." The reality is that even before the pandemic, our students and families were overcoming tremendous obstacles to achieve success. Our best is required each and every day, no matter the circumstance, because our collective best is what our students and families need and deserve. We owe it to them and to one another to bring our best every single day. In the United States and on the Monterey Peninsula, demography should not equal destiny. That is, where you grow up, the zip code in which you were born should not determine the opportunities that you have in life. Too often, I feel that as a country, we are failing our students. But on the Monterey Peninsula, our commitment runs deep so that every student, regardless of circumstance, will have opportunities to achieve their potential and pursue their dreams. You heard it from a student today. How awesome is that? That our student will now go on to Berkeley and change the trajectory of her life and that of her family and community. So I'll leave you by saying, be your best when your best is required. Stay committed to our students, to their families, and to one another. It's going to be a great year. Thank you.
Thank you, PK. All right, we are coming to the end. We are going to close out. As you exit, our Seaside High School drumline is going to play for you. For those that may not have gotten a t-shirt, we still have some left. Meet me in the back there. We have some lanyards, but we want to wish you a great school year. Make it a great year.